She had just turned 52, a former nurse, now retired early because of chronic fatigue and brain fog. For years, Sandra did everything by the book. She stayed hydrated, ate fruits every day, even went vegetarian when her doctor suggested it might help her kidneys. Stage 4. CKD was a terrifying diagnosis, but she didn't give up. She cut down her protein, avoided junk food, even stopped drinking coffee. But each lab test brought more dread. Her creatinine was still rising. Her GFR was still dropping. And no one could explain why. Doctors assumed it was just disease progression. They told her dialysis might be just months away. But Sandra wasn't ready to give up. She started digging deeper, and what she discovered shocked her. The very foods she was eating to heal her kidneys were the ones silently harming them. Spinach? Too high in oxalates. Tomatoes? Potassium overload. She was unknowingly feeding her kidneys a slow poison, disguised as healthy. I thought I was doing everything right. Turns out I was making it worse, she said, tears in her eyes. And she's not alone. Every day, kidney patients are told to eat more vegetables, but no one tells them which vegetables are safe and which ones could fast-track them toward dialysis. In this video, we're going to reveal 6 vegetables that sound healthy, but can silently sabotage your kidney healing, and more importantly, we'll show you what to eat instead. Because food is either your slowest poison or your most powerful medicine. And don't miss number 2. It's so misleading that even some doctors don't realize how much potassium it can dump into your bloodstream. If you're fighting CKD and want to protect every bit of kidney function you still have, stay with us. What you don't know about these vegetables can hurt you. You've probably been told all your life that vegetables are the healthiest thing you can eat. And for most people, that's true. But for someone with chronic kidney disease, especially in stages 3, 4, or 5, that advice can backfire. Let's bust a dangerous myth right now. Not all vegetables are safe for CKD patients. In fact, some of the so-called healthiest vegetables may be the very reason your creatinine is rising and your symptoms are getting worse. Here's why. When your kidneys are healthy, they act like expert filters, flushing out excess potassium, phosphorus, oxalates, and waste from your blood. But with CKD, those filters slow down. They struggle to remove what they once could in seconds. And when these minerals build up, that's when the trouble begins. Let's take potassium first. High potassium vegetables may seem harmless until they cause irregular heartbeats, muscle weakness, or even cardiac arrest. The medical term is hyperkalemia, and it's not just dangerous, it can be deadly. Then there's phosphorus. Some vegetables may not taste salty, but they're loaded with hidden phosphorus, and when your kidneys can't get rid of it, that excess phosphorus pulls calcium from your bones, causes itching, and leads to vascular calcification, the hardening of arteries. That means higher blood pressure and a faster path to heart disease, the #1 killer of kidney patients. And don't forget oxalates, a compound in many leafy greens like spinach and beet greens. These can lead to kidney stones and further damage already fragile kidneys. You may be feeling exhausted, swollen, or dizzy, not realizing it's not just the disease but what's on your plate. Clinical research confirms this. Diets rich in potassium and phosphorus without proper restriction have been linked to faster progression of kidney disease and higher hospitalization rates. A 2021 review in Nephrology Dialysis Transplantation noted that many patients who consumed high potassium plant-based diets without supervision developed dangerous spikes in serum potassium. And here's the painful truth. You're doing your best. You're eating what everyone says is healthy. But if the wrong vegetables are sneaking onto your plate, your kidneys are under attack every single day. This video will show you which veggies to avoid and what to replace them with so you can eat safely, confidently, and with real healing in mind. Spinach, the ultimate health poster child. It's in green smoothies, salads, and just about every superfood list on the internet. But if you have kidney disease, this leafy green might not be the hero you think it is. In fact, spinach can quietly damage your kidneys if you're not careful. Here's why. Spinach is extremely high in oxalates, naturally occurring compounds that bind with calcium in your body. When this happens, oxalate crystals can form, leading to kidney stones and worse, contributing to toxin buildup in already struggling kidneys. And that's not all. Spinach is also loaded with potassium. 1 cup of cooked spinach contains nearly 850 milligallons of potassium. That might be okay for someone with healthy kidneys. But for CKD patients, especially in stage 3 or beyond, this amount can be dangerous. It can raise your serum potassium to levels that trigger muscle weakness, numbness, or even cardiac arrhythmia. So why is spinach still praised? Because for healthy people, it is nutritious, rich in iron, magnesium, folate, and antioxidants. But CKD changes everything. What's medicine for one person can be poison for another. This is where the emotional trap lies. You think you're doing the right thing. You're eating more greens, cutting the junk, but your labs don't improve. You feel tired, bloated, and confused, and the culprit might be sitting right in your salad bowl. It's not your fault. Most doctors don't even mention oxalates or potassium until it's too late. The truth is, not all greens are created equal for kidney health. So what's a better choice? Try cooked kale, which is lower in both potassium and oxalates when boiled and drained. Or go with romaine lettuce, fresh, crisp, and gentle on your kidneys. Both offer that green goodness without overloading your filtration system. Bottom line, spinach may be a superfood, but not for your kidneys. Swap it out, protect your labs, and start feeling better, 1 leaf at a time. Potatoes. They're comfort food, family food, and found on dinner tables everywhere, from mashed to baked to fried. But if you're dealing with kidney disease, this beloved vegetable could be silently pushing you closer to dialysis. Here's the truth. Potatoes are extremely high in potassium. A medium-sized baked potato can contain over 900 milligallons of potassium. And even when you boil or leach them, the potassium doesn't magically disappear. At best, you reduce it by 30 to 40%. But for someone with CKD, even that reduced amount can be too much. High potassium in your blood, called hyperkalemia, is no small issue. It can cause muscle cramps, irregular heartbeat, numbness, and in severe cases, heart failure. What's worse? You often don't feel it coming until it's already dangerous. Some people believe the myth that soaking potatoes in water or double boiling makes them safe. While leaching does lower potassium to a degree, it's far from foolproof. Plus, it doesn't account for the portion sizes most people eat. What starts as just a potato ends up being a potassium bomb. You might be wondering, but aren't potatoes natural? Isn't that better than processed food? And yes, whole foods are generally better. But with kidney disease, it's not just about natural versus processed food. It's about what your kidneys can handle right now. This is where the emotional trap hits. You're trying to eat better. You swap junk food for home-cooked meals. But if potatoes are a regular side dish, your efforts may be working against you, and it hurts to realize that something so common and so comforting could be causing harm. So what can you eat instead? Try turnips. They're low in potassium, easy to mash, and surprisingly satisfying. Or go with cauliflower, which can be roasted, mashed, or steamed as a potato alternative. Both are kidney-friendly and versatile enough to make the transition smooth. Bottom line, potatoes might be a staple, but for CKD patients, they're a risky one. Don't let potassium sneak up on you. Swap smart and protect what kidney function you still have, because every meal counts. Tomatoes, bright, juicy, and found in just about everything. From pasta sauces and soups to juices and salads, they're a staple in millions of kitchens. But for people with chronic kidney disease, this innocent-looking fruit can quietly be a dangerous trigger. Here's why. Tomatoes are naturally high in potassium. Just one medium tomato has around 290 milligrams, and a single cup of tomato sauce can pack over 900 milliliters. That's nearly half the daily potassium limit for someone in stage 4 CKD. And since tomatoes are rarely eaten alone, often concentrated in sauces, stews, or juices, the potassium load can sneak up on you. But it's not just the potassium. Tomatoes are also highly acidic. This can irritate the gut lining, especially in patients with CKD-related digestive issues. And when the gut is inflamed, it worsens the gut-kidney axis, a term doctors use to describe how poor gut health directly harms your kidneys. Inflammation from the gut can increase uremic toxins, raise creatinine, and make you feel constantly fatigued or bloated. Many patients make this mistake. They go plant-based, reduce processed foods, and load up on healthy veggies like tomatoes. But for kidneys that can no longer filter minerals effectively, tomatoes become a hidden threat. You may feel like you're doing everything right, and yet your labs worsen. This is the kind of frustration that breaks spirits. And the worst part? Tomatoes are in so many hidden places: store-bought pasta sauce, ketchup, vegetable juice blends, even healthy canned soups. It's not just about what you cook, it's what's already in your pantry. So what's the alternative? Try roasted red bell peppers. They have a sweet, smoky flavor that can replace tomato in many sauces and dips. Use herbs like basil, oregano, or parsley to add flavor without the acidity. Even a small amount of apple cider vinegar mixed with olive oil can brighten dishes without the potassium hit. Bottom line, tomatoes may look healthy, but for CKD patients, they're a sneaky source of potassium and inflammation. Remove them from your daily routine, and you might just see your labs and your energy begin to improve. Beets, praised in health circles as a detox powerhouse, yet for kidney patients, they can be a quiet disaster. Let's break it down. Beets are loaded with oxalates, compounds that bind with calcium and can form kidney stones, especially in those already struggling with filtration. If your kidneys are compromised, your body has a much harder time clearing excess oxalates, which means they stay in your system longer, causing inflammation, discomfort, and even stone formation. And that's just part one. Beets are also rich in dietary nitrates. While some studies show nitrates may help healthy individuals improve blood flow and lower blood pressure, that logic doesn't apply to CKD patients. Here's why. In compromised kidneys, the nitrate-nitrite NO, nitric oxide pathway, becomes unbalanced, sometimes triggering the opposite effect, increasing oxidative stress, raising blood pressure, and placing additional strain on kidney tissues. And what's worse, Beets are often juiced and consumed in concentrated amounts. Just 1 glass of beet juice can deliver a massive dose of oxalates and nitrates all at once. Many CKD patients, especially those chasing natural remedies, fall into this trap thinking they're detoxing their body. But instead, they're flooding already overworked kidneys with compounds they can't properly eliminate. One woman even shared how her morning beet smoothie, something she drank religiously, was actually spiking her blood pressure and worsening her swelling. When she stopped and swapped it for safer alternatives, her symptoms began to ease, and her numbers finally started improving. So what should you eat instead? Go for radishes, a crunchy, low oxalate root vegetable that naturally supports liver and kidney function without overloading your body. Or try cucumber, which hydrates, alkalizes, and helps reduce bloating without delivering harmful compounds. Bottom line, beets might work for some people, but for kidney patients, they're a red flag. Don't let the word detox fool you. What detoxifies the average person can toxify a CKD patient. Know your body and choose vegetables that heal, not harm. Avocados, often hailed as the ultimate superfood, are one of the most misleading dangers for people with kidney disease. Let's be clear, avocados are packed with healthy fats, fiber, and vitamins. They're heart-friendly, support brain function, and are a staple in many wellness diets. But here's the hard truth. For CKD patients, especially stage 4 and 5, avocados are a high potassium landmine hiding in plain sight. A single medium avocado contains over 700 milligrams of potassium. To put that in perspective, if you're in advanced CKD, your daily potassium limit might be just 1,500 to 2,000 milligrams. That means one avocado can blow through nearly half, sometimes more, of your entire day's allowance. And the problem is, most people don't stop at just a few slices. It's mashed on toast, added to salads, blended in smoothies, because it's healthy, right? That's exactly what happened to a 56-year-old patient named Lisa. She was trying to eat clean, cutting sugar, increasing greens, and switching to good fats like avocado. But her potassium levels kept creeping up. Her doctor was puzzled until they looked closer at her food journal. Avocado toast. Daily. When she swapped it out, her labs stabilized, and her symptoms, fatigue, nausea, muscle weakness, started to ease. Here's the deeper issue. Chronic kidney disease reduces your ability to excrete excess potassium. And when potassium builds up, it doesn't just mess with your numbers. It can cause irregular heartbeat, muscle cramps, and even heart failure. So is all fat bad? Absolutely not. If you're looking for a kidney-safe fat, try a small drizzle of olive oil or flaxseed oil. They're rich in anti-inflammatory omega fats without the potassium overload. You get the heart and brain benefits without putting your kidneys at risk. Remember, avocado might be healthy, but for someone with CKD, healthy isn't always safe. When it comes to healing kidneys, the right foods matter just as much as avoiding the wrong ones. Swiss chard often wears the disguise of a clean-eating champion. It's bright, leafy, and shows up in everything from smoothies to stir-fries. But for anyone with kidney disease, especially stage 3 to 5, this veggie is a wolf in green clothing. Let's break it down. Swiss chard is incredibly high in potassium. 1 cup of cooked chard can contain over 900 milliliters. That's nearly half, if not more, of what a CKD patient should consume in a day. For someone whose kidneys can't flush out excess minerals effectively, this can lead to hyperkalemia, causing symptoms like irregular heartbeat, weakness, or even sudden cardiac events. But potassium isn't the only concern. Swiss chard is loaded with oxalates, the compounds that contribute to kidney stone formation. If you already have compromised filtration, adding more oxalates into the mix is like pouring gasoline on a fire. It's especially risky for those with a history of calcium oxalate stones, the most common type. And here's a hidden risk many people overlook: vitamin K1. While it's essential for healthy blood clotting, excessive K can interfere with blood-thinning medications like warfarin, often prescribed to CKD patients at risk for heart issues. Suddenly, your healthy green becomes a recipe for medication complications. This isn't just theory, it's real life. One patient, a 61-year-old woman on a plant-based diet, saw her creatinine spike and INR levels fluctuate wildly. The culprit? Daily green smoothies packed with Swiss chard. Once she switched to safer greens, her numbers began to stabilize. So what can you eat instead? Swap Swiss chard with steamed green beans or bok choy. These vegetables are lower in potassium, low in oxalates, and much gentler on the kidneys. They offer the same crisp texture and versatility, minus the hidden risks. Bottom line, just because something is green doesn't mean it's clean for your kidneys. Swiss chard might look like a detox hero, but for CKD patients, it's often a silent saboteur. Always choose your greens wisely. Your kidneys are watching. If you're feeling overwhelmed after hearing which vegetables to avoid, take a breath, because here's the good news. You absolutely can still enjoy vegetables, even with kidney disease. You just need to make smarter choices. First, let's shift the mindset. It's not about cutting everything out. It's about choosing what works with your kidneys, not against them. And there are plenty of nutrient-rich, kidney-safe vegetables that do just that. Here are some of the best low-potassium, low-oxalate vegetables you can enjoy. Bell peppers. Crunchy, colorful, and packed with vitamin C and antioxidants, bell peppers are low in potassium and easy to add to salads, stir-fries, or roasted dishes. Cabbage. Whether you prefer it raw, sautéed, or boiled, cabbage is gentle on the kidneys, low in potassium, and full of fiber to support digestion. Cauliflower. A great substitute for potatoes or rice, cauliflower is kidney-safe and versatile. Mash it, roast it, or use it as a low-carb base for meals. Cucumber. Hydrating, refreshing, and naturally low in potassium, cucumbers are a great way to support fluid balance, especially when eaten raw. Zucchini. Another flexible, low-potassium veggie that works well grilled, sautéed, or spiralized into low-carb noodles. Turnips. Earthy and hearty, turnips can replace potatoes in soups and stews. They're much lower in potassium and phosphorus, making them a solid swap. Now, let's talk preparation. How you cook your veggies matters just as much as what you cook. Steaming is one of the best methods. It retains nutrients without adding extra salt or fat. Boiling can reduce potassium levels even more, especially if you discard the water after cooking. Avoid heavy sauces or processed seasonings. Opt for herbs, lemon, or a touch of olive oil instead. And finally, don't fall into the trap of perfection. It's not about avoiding a single vegetable forever. It's about portion control and balance. Even kidney-friendly vegetables can become a problem in excess, especially if eaten with other high-potassium foods. So build your plate wisely. You don't need a long list, you just need a smart one. And the smart list is full of flavor, variety, and healing potential. Let's take a moment to recap the 6 vegetables you now know to watch out for. Spinach. High in oxalates and potassium, it can quietly build up toxins and stone risk. Potatoes. A potassium overload, even after leaching, and a serious threat to heart and kidney stability. Tomatoes. Acidic and potassium-rich, often hidden in sauces and juices. Beets. Full of oxalates and nitrates, they're a false detox that can do more harm than good. Avocados. Healthy fats, yes, but dangerously high in potassium for stage 4 to 5, CKD. Swiss chard. A triple threat with potassium, oxalates, and vitamin K1 that disrupts meds and filtration. Now here's your power. The food you thought was helping may be slowing your healing. But now you know better, and that knowledge gives you control. You don't need to give up on vegetables. You just need to choose the right ones. And that small shift can change everything. If one woman with stage 4 CKD was able to reverse her creatinine climb just by adjusting a few vegetables on her plate, then you can absolutely do it too. You're not powerless. You're just one smart choice away from protecting your kidneys. Now it's your turn. Which of these veggies surprised you the most? Have you already removed one from your diet, or are you planning to now? Comment below and let us know. Your story might inspire someone else. And if this video helped you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who's battling kidney disease. Sometimes the biggest health wins come from the smallest food changes. And if you're looking for daily support and personalized guidance, join our membership, because your kidneys deserve it.